Let's go. It starts at 9 p.m. for the fight. Alright. No, I'm gonna improve my face a little bit. Right there. Okay. Yo, this is gonna get fucking crazy, yo. Okay. Should be starting like right now, right? It's almost 2 more minutes. Let's go, Ben Askren. Let's go. Meanwhile, I have class in 5 minutes. Wait, okay, you guys can see this anyway, right? Yep. Oh, great. Yep. I want to see the loop. Oh, wait, if I go up a bit, oh no, it's like that. Alright. See if that doesn't glitch out. It did. Damn. Shit. To Ben Askren fight. Wait. Wait, no way you guys can see that. Okay, you can. Okay. Damn. There's already hella spam. Shit. Let's go, champ. In the freaking chat. You know what? I'm gonna add the chat feature so I don't feel like it's just me. I may have to fix that. Alright, I think that's good. Just for today. You shouldn't start now. It's already at 2-2. Unless this is like live before. No. Start. You can't start late. Start? No way. It should be starting right now. What happened? Oh my god. Come on. Start. It's already 2:04. Wait, what the? I'm not the only one that saw that, right? Jake Paul just appeared out of nowhere with the tear on his face. With the tear emoji. Hey, let's go! Let's go! It's here! Oh!
YouTuber Jake Paul fighting three-time NBA Slam Dunk champion Nate Robinson.
If you told my 9-year-old self got me on a Mike Tyson card, I'd be like, no way. I'm gonna take his head off. Really?
What the fuck?
Thank you. Hey, Robinson.
Let's go, Nate. Hey, Nate finna beat this boy ass, and I'm finna enjoy every moment of it.
Nate, what's up, bro?
What the fuck?
Good job, Nate.
I just want to prove that, I'm the greatest athlete, one of the greatest athletes to ever walk this earth.
And
Everyone thought that Nate
no, they didn't have to do Nate like that. They didn't have to do Nate like that.
a real fighter. And so that's the beauty.
That
of it.
is
It's when
fucking
people think
jokes.
you're gonna lose and like proving them wrong.
Nate Robinson is a former teammate of yours. He tweeted
No,
out,
they did
after
Nate
his
dirty.
knockout, you responded to
Oh
the tweet like,
no.
Yeah.
Boxing was pretty much a dying sport.
They did Nate
25
dirty.
million views, boxing's going back.
They did Nate
I know my
dirty.
ability. I'm just gonna prove it to the world.
What?
Bernstein, and welcome to
That was
what
not just
is
me.
going to explain to you one of the terrific events
Did they
coming
just
up
glitch out
on
in
April
front of me?
17th, Triller Fight Club. Its inaugural event. We welcome the folks that are here among the press.
It's not
and
my
welcome
audio,
to all
right?
of you watching around the world. We're happy that you've joined us. On April 17th, it will be an event that will merge music and
they have-
boxing
they
in
have
a
good-ass
unique
Wi-Fi,
way.
but they
There
can't
will be music superstars
Oh
on
my
hand,
God.
as well as some fun boxing matches. And what it will create is an evening of high-energy entertainment, which we are really looking forward to. And today, we're going to introduce to you a number of the participants.
I
as well
hate
as
this
some
audio
folks that
so
are
much.
responsible for bringing you this event. Now, I want to remind everyone that a way to watch and follow the fighters is to go to TrillerFightClub.com, where you can see all the information and features about the fight, and you can order the event through your cable, satellite, and telco providers, and of course on online you can get it on Fight, which is the
audio
premier
sucks.
digital pay-per-view platform for boxing and combat sports. The best way to start this out is to show you the card that we were going to have on April 17th. So let's take a peek at it
Pro Debit,
right now.
the problem
In the
child,
main event, of course,
2-0
YouTube
KO.
personality turned boxer, the irrepressible Jake
Regis-
Paul, in
Regis.
his third boxing event,
Ivan,
taking on Ben
Steve
Askren,
Cunningham,
the
Frank
former
Emma,
MMA
Joe,
champion,
and just Felipe Rodeo
and that
Lambro.
should be an intriguing battle. Then in the co-main event, former 140-pound champ Regis Program.
I'm in class right now, so
taking
hope.
on Ivan Redkach, who has been a contender in several weight classes, and former cruiserweight champion Steve Cunningham will be taking on Big Frank Mir, the former UFC heavyweight champion. And in a unique match, Joe Fournier, who is a former fitness guru and had a pro boxing career, taking on
This is Jake Paul's music.
Andre Felipe Robledo Lodano, otherwise known as
GG.
Raycon. He is a Reggae Nation performer from Colombia who
Jake
is
Paul's
wildly
music.
popular and has a worldwide following. So that
Oh
one should be a
my
unique
God.
event. This is a varied and interesting card, and one of the things that makes it interesting is in many cases we don't know exactly how all these boxers are going to respond once they get in front of the bright lights and once we see them actually in action. Now, the main event, which we've already mentioned, of course, is Jake Paul against Ben Askren. Jake questions Ben Askren's boxing ability, and Ben questions the toughness of Jake Paul. So between the two of them, they have had a lot to say, and it's been very, very interesting to build up to this fight. And today we're going to hear from both of them as well. Let's talk about our first fight, and that is the fight with Joe Fournier from London, who, as I mentioned, is a fitness guru. He's a basketball player. He owned a nightclub. He actually had a pro boxing career in which he was 8-0 and was a pro boxer. And did a terrific job in that respect, was as high as number 11 in the world. And then Raycon, who, as I said, is the leading practitioner of Reggae Nation music. He is a superstar from Colombia, and he is somebody that is new to boxing, for sure, and somebody that we're anxious to see how well he functions in the ring. So that one is certainly an interesting matchup. And, you know, we're going to have a big night of boxing for you. We're going to have that plus the music. Later on, we're going to detail all the music acts that you're going to get a chance to see. And we're excited about it. It's a unique event that merges, as I said, both boxing and entertainment. Now, I think we're ready to bring on our first two participants. So let's bring to the stage Joe Fournier and Raycon. Gentlemen, come on out.
Okay.
Hi, Joe. How are you? Good to see you.
Bro, these look like actors. They look like actors. What the fuck?
Well, welcome to both of you.
They look like actors for real. They don't even look like...
We're going to have questions from the press that are assembled here, and we're also going to have some questions remotely sent to us as well. But I'm going to start by asking a whole questions, and Joe, I'm going to start with you. So, in previous interviews, I've seen you tell the story about how this
Joe
fight
Rogan.
happened, which is fascinating to say the least. Share the details of that with our audience.
Well, Raycon over there was being a bit of a cock blocker, as they say in England, and and I was talking to a lady in the restaurant.
Who the fuck are these guys?
So,
Joe
that's
Fury.
how we're here today.
Yeah,
Joe Fury.
You were actually, you know, in a restaurant, in a bar where this all kind of came to a head, didn't you?
Absolutely, I was there for my own business. And a girl kept walking past smiling. I've been single for a long time. So
No reason.
I swinged over and then I felt someone like shove me in the back, and obviously being a fighter, I wasn't going to back down, and he was with 20 of his cronies, and here we are today. Fair play to him, he signed the contract.
He took your challenge, for sure. Now, you've mentioned that the interesting thing about this is, of course, you were a pro boxer, and you have a lot of experience. You don't know what to expect from him because there is no history, right?
Well, ultimately, he's either really brave or really stupid. I haven't quite figured it out. But regardless, I'm training for it like it's a real fight. I'm training for it like he is a champion. And yeah, I'm not trying to get paid overtime by making it last too long, put it that way.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see how it all turns out. I'm going to turn to Raycon. And by the way, Marcos Villegas, who is a fine boxing broadcaster and journalist, is going to interpret for us. He's going to handle those responsibilities. And Marcos, maybe you can ask Raycon, what was his reason for taking this fight? Why?
Pero la pelea en ese momento o el problema que hubo. El problema. No, él sabe, faltó al respeto. Simplemente eso, el falto al respeto y donde yo esté no se falta al respeto.
No, he knows why. He knows why I'm taking this fight. It was a lack of respect, total lack of respect on his part.
Has he boxed before?
¿Has boxeado? ¿Tienes experiencia boxeando?
No. In the street, you know?
How long did he have to prepare for this fight? Because he's only known about it, I think, less than a month, right?
Tú has sabido de esta pelea, creo un mes has tenido, que sabes, pero ¿qué tanto tiempo has tenido para prepararte para boxear contra él?
Yo estoy preparado mentalmente siempre. Físicamente llevo 20 días preparándome para la pelea, pero yo siempre estoy preparado.
You know, mentally, I'm always ready. I'm ready all the time mentally. Physically, I've only had about 20 days, but mentally, I'm all there.
All right, so it's going to be quite a brawl it could be. Now, we've got the folks here, the press members that are going to ask some questions. So let's get to that. Our first gentleman, could you identify yourself and give us your question?
Yeah, my name is John Morgan. I want to start with Joe. You've got a boxing background. I mean, you stepped away from the sport a little bit. You explained kind of why you're getting back in, but were you considering a return to fighting at all before this incident took place?
Well, I actually signed with MTK Global, one of the biggest boxing management companies, probably about 2 months ago. So I had every intention of coming back. I started training again. So this has kind of been a real godsend from Triller to ask me to be on the show. Obviously, everyone knows I don't do this for the money. I do it kind of more for the life experience and the mental health side. So from this aspect, yeah, I had every intention of coming back. But when you get a phone call from Triller, it's like, winning the golden ticket.
Yeah. The matchup is interesting, though, right? I mean, the personal beef there makes it, interesting. But I do wonder, do you feel like you're kind of putting your reputation on the line? As you said, you got a guy that's never fought before. If you don't go in there and mop up the floor with them, right, like it's kind of a failure on your side.
Well, ultimately, I'm in a no-win situation except for my ego to be kind of massaged slightly. So essentially, I knock him out in 90 seconds. I look like a bully. And if I kind of lose or it goes to points, I look terrible. So like I said, I'm going to do the first and just get rid of him quickly.
Fair enough. I want to ask Raycon if he does he share that same Genesis story? Did he feel like he was being a cock blocker, as was said, and kind of a punk in the club at all?
Pues hablando sobre cómo pasó todo eso, ¿tú crees que él era un falto de respeto cuando el incidente pasó en el antro?
Sí, claro, of course, pero ahora él tiene que ganarse el respeto porque ahora él tiene que ganar esa pelea, la tiene que ganar. Porque yo vine a su mundo, ¿me entiendes? Ahora él tiene que ganárselo porque lo perdió en esa discoteca. Allí perdió el respeto.
No, totally. And that he has to come in now and win the respect because I'm coming into his world now. He has to win this fight or he's going to get no respect.
I was going to say, last week, do you find this kind of a no-lose situation? I mean, even if you do lose the fight, he's got much more experience. So if you just go in there and make a good showing, maybe people will have respect for you.
¿Tú crees que entrando a esta pelea que no puedes perder? Porque tú no eres boxeador, estás entrando, él sí es boxeador, él tiene experiencia entrando a esta pelea. Si pierdas, no pierdas nada.
Yo creo que desde que asumí su reto, yo ya gané. Él tiene que ganar porque él es boxeador. Porque si yo le digo a él, vamos a hacer una canción, nunca va a ir. No tiene ni idea de eso, ni con autotune. You know?
He has to win. He's a boxer. If I were to bring him into my world and tell him, hey, let's do a song, he'd be clueless. He wouldn't know what to do. He wouldn't survive in that world.
I just want to say I'm the songbird of my generation.
You can.
Él dice que él puede cantar.
No, ni con autotune.
He says, you can't even sing with autotune, man.
Hey, it's getting personal up here, I think. Let's go on for another question. I know that's Kevin Ioli. Kevin, how are you?
I'm good, Al. Thank you. My question would be for Raycon. Raycon, on the first Triller Fight Club card, NBA player Nate Robinson fought. He was not only a star in the NBA, but he was a great all-around athlete. And he didn't last a full round. And I wonder, when you look at it, how do you think you'll be able to do any better than he did, given the fact that you're fighting a guy that has a pro background and also has been training?
Te quería preguntar, en la otra pelea que tuvo Jake Paul, peleó contra Nate Robinson, que tenía ninguna experiencia de boxeador. Entró y le noquearon. Él quiere saber cómo tú puedes ser mejor que eso, si puedes ser mejor que eso y qué va a pasar porque tú no tienes experiencia boxeando.
Pero tengo experiencia de vida y yo voy a sobrevivir, la voy a saber llevar. Yo más que prepararme para ganarle o yo noquearlo a él, yo estoy preparándome para aguantarle lo que él, vivir en su mundo y mostrarle que su mundo, ¿me entiendes? Puede pasar que un golpe me noquee. O también puede pasar al revés, un golpe puede llegar de cualquiera de los dos lados. Yo preparado mentalmente para la situación de asumir su reto. Para eso fue que me preparé, más que físicamente por si le gano o no le gano. Yo ya le gané, ¿me entiendes? Por lo mismo, él no va a estar en mi mundo, yo entré a su mundo.
You know, I've been training to survive. I'm going in there and, you know, it's a fight. I can go in there and I've been training to take the fight to him, to knock him out. You know, obviously it's a fight. He can come in and knock me out, but I can also go ahead and do the same to him. I can end up knocking him out. You know, I'm entering his world. I've already won. You know, he can't do what I've done before. You know, I'm coming into this fight mentally prepared. I have life experience, and I'm using that to carry me into this fight.
And question for Joe, I guess 2 questions for you, Joe. Number one, do you feel like when you look at this, you know, Nate Robinson did not look very good in his fight, and I know he tried, but, you know, did not go very well. Do you think that there are any celebrities or non-boxers that could come into a boxing match and actually put on a decent performance? And then the second part is, what do you think the way Triller is doing these fights with the big name musical acts and how well they're produced, what do you think that is going to do for traditional boxing? Do you think it'll have an impact and create new fans for boxing, which kind of needs new and younger fans?
Well, first and foremost, you know, I'm a businessman, and I think what Triller are doing is exceptional. They've come into the industry, and what I can kind of compare them to is the Uber to the old cab driver. You know, they're taking it to a digital level. They're creating entertainment, which ultimately that's what boxing was about. So for me, I think the kind of this matchup alone is interesting and intriguing enough. I still think he's crazy. I still think everything he said's ridiculous. I'm going to knock him out in under a minute. But let's just pretend for a second. You've got a world-class reggaeton artist fighting a number 10 WBA, by the way, Al, international champion. And it's interesting. People want to see it, and it's exciting. I think the only person really that's shown from the entertainment world or the kind of YouTube world that it can kind of fight a little bit is Jake. I've made no secret that's the fight I want next, so I'm sure we'll be watching this. But, you know, it just goes to show if someone gets their head down, trains hard, gets a good coach, anything can happen. So I'm welcoming him trying to come and knock me out because it's going to make for more fireworks.
It's okay. Hazlo.
He said, try to do it. Try to knock me out in a minute.
All right.
As long as I still get to visit Colombia after and not get kidnapped.
Dice que si te noquea, si va a Colombia, que no le secuestran.
Está equivocado de los colombianos, pero ahora por su comentario, tal vez.
He said, you know, you're very confused about Colombia, but now because of your comment, maybe.
All right, we'll see how it plays out. We can see there's some conflict here. We have a remote question, do we not? Let's go to that now.
Santa María.
Ok, yo quiero preguntar a Raycon, ¿cómo, cuando te llegó la oferta de la pelea, cuál fue tu reacción?
Yo no quería que fuera a tanto. Desde el otro día que yo me entero quién era él, a mí me decían, ¿tú sabes a quién enfrentaste? Y yo le decía a la gente, donde yo vengo uno no pregunta quién es, ¿me entiendes? Entonces yo, obviamente, ese momento me toma por sorpresa y luego cuando ellos buscan, como que le interesó porque obviamente sabía que nosotros en el mundo artístico tenemos una cantidad de gente que está detrás de nosotros y yo creo que a él le gustó que lo taguearan y que le gustó el mundo de las redes. Y yo dije, está bien, él le gusta eso, pues vamos a su mundo. Y lo asumí también como un reto personal porque ¿Sabes algo que sí tengo que decir de este deporte? Practico fútbol desde que tengo uso de razón y la disciplina que he adquirido en estos 20 días, un mes, no la había tenido nunca. Entonces yo creo que es un deporte de un rendimiento físico exageradísimo y me gustó. Entonces cuando medio traté, yo dije, ahora la oferta me suena más. Me gusta porque voy a trabajar en mi cuerpo, en mi mente y pues aparte vamos a sufrir un poco.
I was like, at first, I asked the people, who's this guy? Because I had no idea, honestly, who he was. I know that he likes the social media, he likes the social media attention. And for me, this is a personal goal. I practiced soccer growing up, and I have the discipline of being in sports from that. I know this is a hard sport, but I like it. And I like this because it's gotten me disciplined and because I get to work and work real hard.
All righty, let's go back to more from remote.
Our next caller is AB Boxing News, Gustavo Neri.
Esta pregunta va para el campeón Ricón. ¿Cómo está, campeón? Me pregunta para usted, campeón, y si gana la pelea, ¿qué significa esta victoria para usted y su país de Colombia?
¿Cómo lo verán que ya me dicen campeón a mí?
How is it that they're already calling me champ? Look at that.
Okay. Yo creo que Colombia ha sido un país que siempre me ha apoyado desde mis inicios en la carrera. Y yo creo que ellos obviamente van a estar pensando que quieren que yo gane, ¿me entendés? La verdad yo vuelvo y le repito, yo creo que esto lo asumo para mostrarle más a los jóvenes de que no importa el reto que tan fuerte y si es tu mundo o no es tu mundo, pero que hay gente berraca en Colombia, que hay gente pujante, ¿me entiendes? Que hay gente que de verdad allá tenemos los huevos para salir a situaciones como esta, porque no cualquiera va a hacer eso. Y yo creo que eso es la gente colombiana.
Colombia has always supported me since the beginning of my career. I know that they want me to win, and they've always showed me support. This whole thing is to show, people that are struggling, especially young people, people that come from my country that are struggling, that are young, that you could go to a challenge and go with it head first, to show people that the people from my country have balls and that they can go and conquer challenges and do well.
I hope he comes in head first on the night.
Él espera que vienes tú por tú frente a frente con él en la noche de la pelea.
Okay.
Última pregunta, me gustaría saber si usted, que es un reggaetonero grande en el mundo, ¿usted piensa que muchos talentos de la música le gustaría entrar en ese deporte o qué consejos le vas a dar a tus compañeros entrando en este deporte de boxeo?
Si gano, sí. Si no, no van a querer.
If I win, yeah, of course, but if I lose, they're not going to want to do this.
Yo creo que más que invitarlos a pelear, porque la intención no es que, hay demasiada guerra en el mundo para uno incitar más a la pelea, pero yo creo que incitarlos más a que este deporte de verdad es una gran disciplina, vuelvo y repito, que ha hecho que me concentre de una manera increíble.
I think, it does, maybe open up future possibilities, but, this sport's very hard. It takes so much discipline, so much discipline that I've never had before in other endeavors.
I think do we have one more? We've got another remote question, don't we?
We have Page Side Press, Gabriel Gonzalez.
Hi, this question is for Raycon. Raycon, can you put into words how much of this is to grow your career as an artist and how much of it is to test yourself and what you can do just as a person?
Raycon, él quiere saber cuánto de esto, de hacer esta pelea es para crecer tu carrera o porque tú veramente quieres hacer esto, quieres retar.
Yo no reté, él me retó. Yo no reté a nadie.
This isn't a challenge. He's the one that challenged me. Remember that.
Yo vuelvo y te repito, asumo porque soy un hombre y llevo
I do this because I'm a man.
Las consecuencias hasta el final, ¿me entiendes? Pero lo mío es la música, Lo mío es la música, no la pelea. Pero voy a pelear con él.
My thing's music, obviously, my thing's music. That's my world, but I'm a man and I got to go through with this as any man would do.
Yo necesito es hacer buena música, no more.
The only thing I need to do is just make good music. That's it.
All right, we'll see. Let me ask you a question, since we're going to get another one from our remote location. But have you heard anything here today that makes you feel that Raycon's confident?
He just sounds afraid, to be honest with you, and that's really understandable because I wouldn't want to get punched by me either. I'm actually thinking of going into music after this because he's kind of challenging me to do that.
Él dice que tú tienes temor, que no vas a querer que él te golpea y pues cuando gana él va a empezar una carrera en música.
I'm going to call Carol G and do a duet.
No va a poder, no va a poder.
You're not going to be able to do it, buddy.
No va a poder. Yo ya lo he escuchado hablar.
All you do is talk.
Let's go back out and get another remote question and see what they have to say from the hinterlands.
Next we have MMA Island, Donna Corby.
Hey, Joe. What I've always found in my obviously at a much lower level than you, when I played football, I found that the hardest guys to play against were the guys who had no idea what they were doing, the guys who would just kick away at your legs. Obviously, that's kind of what you're expecting going into this fight. Is that the biggest concern for you, that this guy is going to be extremely unorthodox? He's going to be, like, obviously, look, technically he's going to be probably the worst guy who you've been in the ring with, but he's going to be difficult to fight maybe because of that.
You know, that's kind of how I got here today, being awkward and difficult with not much amateur background. So, like I said, I'm taking it as a real fight. I'm training, I'm sparring tough guys, and I'm trying to spar as many awkward, tough, tattooed type of people that think they're street fighters, because I do expect, you know, him coming out, you know, just out of nervousness and throwing some serious bombs. So, yeah, you're right. I am expecting something really unorthodox, and that does give him a danger. We're going to weigh in the same weight. We're two men. We're both, you know, in our 30s. So, at the end of the day, it's a real fight. That's why we're here. So, yeah, it's going to be awkward for me. He's definitely not going to be coming out technically like a former Olympian. But like I said, he sounds confident, and in fairness, he does have the balls to sign the contract and get in the ring, which is a lot I can say to a lot of other people that, you know, sit on their sofa and pretend to want to know or do fighting, you know. So fair play to him. I do think he's had a few street fights, and I do think he's won them. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here today.
What else we got remotely?
Our next question is from Bad Left Hook, Michael Woods.
Big Al, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
All right, question for Raycon. All due respect for you taking this assignment, stepping in. No BS. Fournier already said it. You deserve respect for that. As I'm listening to this, though, I really am wondering, have you been in at least street fights? Have you been in situations where you've hit someone and hurt them? Or you've been hit and hurt? Because, you know, there's the distinct possibility here that this guy who's at A-Pro Fights is going to crack pretty freaking hard. Have you been in fights?
Él quiere saber, primero te quiere dar respeto para tomando esta pelea. Quiere saber, ¿tú has estado en peleas y has recibido golpes? Porque pues él es un profesional, tiene un récord de 8-0, es invicto, él es boxeador, pues quiere saber eso.
A mí la vida me ha golpeado muchas veces. Gente me ha golpeado, la vida me ha golpeado, yo sé recibir golpes, ¿me entiendes? Lo único que yo tengo para decirle es que él va a tener que seguir peleando contra artistas o deportistas, gente de otros deportes, porque si pelea contra boxeadores, de verdad él no va a poder, ¿me entiendes? Él busca gente como nosotros, que sabe que ahí entramos en otra zona, ¿me entiendes? Entonces yo creo que yo puedo recibir esos golpes. Yo he recibido en la calle, desde niño, de donde vengo. Yo vengo de un barrio donde se vivía bastante ese tipo de cosas. Y no pasa nada, ¿me entiendes?
No, I've taken beatings and gotten into fights my whole entire life, man. And, you know, I come from a very, you know,